Hey guys, happy Friday again. It is time for another Falcon and Winter Soldier review. You know the drill. I'm just gonna start renaming them like Falcon Fridays or something, but anyway. Yeah, and as always, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and feel free to subscribe for all kinds of other cool things on my channel. It's random, Disney tips, everything we want to talk about and Marvel related. DC too, I do not discriminate comics wise, but let's get into this week's episode. I loved all of the flashbacks / callbacks they did to Civil War and other previous movies. I thought that was hilarious. I literally just almost peed my pants laughing when they were talking about Bucky and Sam and saying, are you gonna move your seat up? And he said no. Hilarious. Love that they went back to that. Other parts, Sharon, obviously. It was nice seeing her again since we got to learn a little bit more about her backstory and what happened to her, because they didn't really touch on it much, obviously, in the MCU, the movies that we've seen so far. She didn't really have much after we saw her, and then it just kind of dissipated. I'm not really too sure how I feel about her right now. I like her as a character. I think she's a complete badass, and she took all of those bounty hunters out flawlessly. But her getting into the car with that woman and saying that they have a problem, I'm a little bit worried that she's kind of shady. So we'll have to see, and we don't know what happened to her obviously after the blip. Was she around during it? I assume so. I don't remember if they got to that in the episode. But the biggest part of this episode obviously is Bucky and Sam breaking out Zemo. It was nice to see him again. I think he's a great character. He's so annoying yet fun at the same time. When he was dancing in Madripoor, that was just hilarious. I thought it was so funny. But anyway, moving on from that, the whole concept of Selby and them killing her immediately on the spot, that was interesting. And the whole concept of where that super soldier serum came from, we learned it came from Isaiah, so that's kind of where they tied that in. Honestly, we should have all seen that coming before now, but whatever. I thought that was really insightful and cool to learn about the backstory piece of that. What else I'm trying to think of? It was awesome. The scene where Bucky basically goes Winter Soldier, fake Winter Soldier, and takes all of them out at the bar was a really complex, really cool scene to watch him do it in 2 seconds flat. I do feel really bad for him, obviously, because that is very triggering, I'm sure, for his PTSD, since he is no longer the Winter Soldier and he has to kind of pretend and go along with it while they are there. I did think that that was a good insight too into Sam really getting a first-hand glimpse of him. I mean, obviously he's Civil War, he knows what Bucky was about beforehand, but this really kind of just gives him a more in-depth look, and he kind of asks him if he's good, which shows me that it's not, obviously we know he cares for Bucky, but they have a strenuous relationship, but I just thought that was kind of a sweet moment and maybe where he's going to understand him a little bit better. So I thought that was very cool of them to do. The whole fact that Sharon has an art gallery and that's what she does for a living, that was a kind of nice little sidebar we got going there. We didn't really have much, obviously, from the flag people. What are they called? The flag? I'm literally brain farting. I'll insert it in here because I can't think of what the name of them are right now. Anyway, with Carly and that woman, Danya. Yeah, Danya is her name. And her dying from TB. Is it her mom? We don't really know yet. Obviously, it's someone she was extremely close with, so we'll just have to see how that storyline pans out. Also, her freaking out at the end of the episode and being like, yeah, it's okay that we just killed all the people in there because that's the only thing they understand. Ooh, that's a little triggering and a little bit worrisome. But I guess I'm wondering what more, like, what there is to her story. I think there's definitely more here that we're not picking up on, but we are at the halfway point for the season, so it just keeps getting better and better. Zemo stealing the car, classic, hilarious, love that. There were lots of funny moments in this episode. Another part I want to call out to is the woman that we see in Bucky when they're back and he finds the little bugs that looks like Wakandan technology, which in fact it is, and she's there to kill Zemo. So I think we're going to get more of the Wakandan storyline in there, which I'm really pumped for. I've missed that. I think it's awesome. Maybe a little bit of Shuri. I mean, that'd be like bomb if we got her, but if we don't, that's okay too. but I'm really excited to see where we go next week with the story. They always answer all of our questions pretty well, I think, at least. I think that all ties in together. Yeah, I'm really excited for next week's episode. I'm trying to think real quick if I missed anything that I think was important. Oh, Dr. Nagel, them killing him immediately. That was interesting. And the fact that Carly has the last remaining serums kind of gave me a little bit of S.H.I.E.L.D. vibes. If you guys have watched S.H.I.E.L.D., like somebody always steals them from somebody else. I mean, that's kind of like how the whole Avengers MCU works, but I don't know, gave me a little bit of S.H.I.E.L.D. vibes. And the trip down the memory lane with the whole Hydra concept. Again, love the callback to that. Yeah, I really liked this week's episode. I thought it was really funny, really entertaining, and it was great. Big thumbs up from me. I'm super thrilled with it. I love that we're getting even more in depth with the characters and the storyline. I cannot wait for next week's episode. So without further ado, that is the end of the video. But if you guys have any questions, or if you want to comment and let me know what you thought about the episode, please feel free to do so in the comments below. And as always, have a good night, good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time you're watching this. I think I already said good night, but that's whatever. Have a good time, guys. I will catch you guys next week for next week's episode. I love you 3000. Have a good weekend.